Welcome to another episode of The Pull List Examiner. This is my weekly video where I take a look at the top 3 comics I'm looking forward to reading on New Comic Book Day. This week's New Comic Book Day is going to be August 3rd, 2022. You can find my full pull list in the description of this video below, but let's take a look at my top 3 choices for this week. First off, at number 3 this week, we have Batman, issue number 126. Batman 126 is actually the second issue that we get from Chip Zdarsky's new run on Batman. I have mentioned on previous episodes that I'm a big fan of Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run and was hoping he was going to bring some of that energy over to Batman. I have to say, issue 125 of Batman was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was anything spectacular, but it is definitely something I'm looking forward to reading. And this week we get a new character. I don't think it's a spoiler to say it's someone called Failsafe, or something I should say, because it appears to be a robot. And it's on the cover, at least one of the mini covers, of issue 126 this week. So I don't really have much else to say other than this story is just starting out and I'm looking forward to reading it. And coming in at number 2 this week is going to be Metal Society, issue number 4. I've mentioned Zach Kaplan on a few of my previous episodes, and I have to say he has quickly become one of my favorite sci-fi writers in comic books. And right now he actually has 3 and soon to be 4 series that I think all are in flight at different publishers. Dark Horse has Breakout, and this Metal Society is put out by Image Comics, and he has another comic coming out about time traveling that's going to be over at Scout Comics. So he seems to be keeping busy, and I really am appreciating every series I've picked up so far. He also has another series called Mindset, and I think that's over at Aftershock. But anyways, I am looking forward to reading this week Metal Society issue number 4, which is dealing with this futuristic world where people were actually taken over by robots, and then after a while the robots decided to bring people back and basically have been using them for labor purposes only. And now the people, the humans, are trying to win back some of their rights from the robots, and it all led up to this fight that's going to happen between a human versus a robot, and it has what is probably like MMA action in it, and it's really interesting because it's got this underlying kind of societal perspective about losing rights and gaining rights between the robots and the people. And it's interesting too that Zach Kaplan chooses to personify the robots, which you would think would be more or less indifferent to people, but they seem to actually care, and that's kind of an interesting take. So if you like sci-fi, you should check out Metal Society. It has been a pretty good read. And coming in at number 1 this week is going to be Batman, The White Knight presents Red Hood, issue number 1. That's a really long title, but really this is a tie-in to the current series that is also based on the White Knight or Murphyverse of Batman. And that current series is Batman Beyond based, so it's looking at a future with Batman Beyond. And I've said before, but if you have not read the series, it's a very interesting take on Batman, because Sean Murphy, who is the writer, has decided to basically redefine all of Gotham. And you could call it like an Elseworld story, but really he has taken his ideas of these characters and built upon them and built this small Murphyverse. And here we get yet another title in the Murphyverse. This one specifically revolves around the Red Hood and how it ties into this current series with Batman Beyond. So I am really looking forward to it. I have it as number 1 on my list this week because each story I have read has been really good. Each story builds the characters more and more. You get to learn more of their backstory in this one because it's futuristic, but if you go back to the original White Knight series, and then Curse of the White Knight, and then the Harley Quinn series that also came out, and I believe there's also a series that revolved around Victor Fries, and overall it has just been a really cool take on Gotham, and I'm looking forward to see what they come up with in this issue that's going to be based on the Red Hood. Thanks again for watching the Pull List Examiner. If you have yet to go check out my 100 subscriber video, you should head over and leave a comment so that you'll get entered into the raffle for a couple comic books that I'm going to be giving away. As we head into the end of summer, I just want to thank everyone for all of the subscriptions that have popped up onto my channel in the recent weeks. I'm at 110 now, but really I'm just glad to have made it to that 100 mark over the course of this year. It's been interesting learning how to do this, but I appreciate everyone watching. If you have any recommendations for me for comics to read, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. And just remember to always read them, bag them, and board them, and we'll see you next time on the Pull List Examiner. Thanks for watching.